Like, if this doesn't scream summer, y'all, I don't know what is. Hi, welcome back to Pack, Play, and Crochet. My name is Susan, and today I'm excited to talk about some patterns that I'm making for the summer. What makes a great crochet pattern or project for the summer? Well, to me, it's the colors, the type of yarn, and the ease of the pattern, to be honest. Sometimes it's just you want something mindless and fun. I've got some exciting projects that I have planned, and I wanted to share them with you. I'm excited to make this crop top that I found when I was on vacation for Thanksgiving. So I had to go and see the local yarn shops. Well, there aren't that many in Southern California. The closest local yarn shop I found was called Weave and Wonder. They're located in Seal Beach, California, on this cute little main street that I had never been to. The shop owner, Michelle, was just amazing to speak with. It was really hard to find a local yarn store in Southern California. Apparently there aren't many hand dyers in Southern California either. So I ended up buying hand-dyed yarn from a dyer in Phoenix, where my family lives and where I grew up, and another one from San Francisco, so at least I had something from California. And then there was this beautiful top in the store. It's a pattern by Nomad Stitches, and it looks super fun and airy and perfect for the summer. That pattern was paired with a hand-dyed colorway specific to Weave and Wander, and the hand dyer happens to be from Longmont, Colorado, just a few minutes away from me. So I bought Colorado dyed yarn, but this green and yellow and teal colorway just fascinated me. It's by Theodore Pearls, and it's bamboo. The name of the colorway is Eelgrass. I have 3 skeins of this. I also had never had any wooden stitch markers before, so that was cute. Weave and Wander and Theodore Pearls. There's Weave and Wander. Just cute stitch markers. This bamboo yarn is so soft. We recently went on a trip to Phoenix and drove through New Mexico. One of our stops was in Taos at another local yarn shop, Mooncat Fiber. The owner, Kathy, was there, and we had a lovely chat. The variety of yarn that she has at that store was fabulous. And when I found out she had Theodore Pearls, I wanted to get some. What really prompted me to get this bamboo yarn was the temperatures had increased in Arizona. Since we planned our visit, it then became highs in the triple digits. So what I ended up doing was I bought some more bamboo yarn, and I had her cake it for me so I could work on a project while I was in Arizona. I had high hopes. I wanted to finish something to wear while I was in Arizona, but that didn't happen. Instead, I started a granny square top inspired by this pattern, and the first colorway I fell in love with was this colorway. It is called Purple Butterfly. It's beautiful. I love it so much. I even drove to another yarn store to see if they had more of this colorway. There were only 2 skeins in Taos. I bought the only 2 skeins, and I was excited to pair this with another skein. I got this rust color that pairs with the top. And as I was working up the granny square, I realized that I wasn't going to get the width that I wanted with the 3 skeins that I bought. I feel like this pattern is going to be much larger due to the oversized boxy fit of the square and the square seamed together. So I needed more yarn. I stopped at Taos again on the way home and got another skein of the rust. But then as I was going and whipping up this piece, I realized it is not going to be enough yarn. When I went up to the other local yarn store here in Longmont, I could not find another blue purple that matched this color. None of the blues really matched the tone. None of the purples really matched the tone. I don't even think there were any purples at the Longmont yarn shop. So what I ended up finding was a silver. Do you see how there's like flecks of silver in this butterfly? I'll turn it over to this side for you. So I actually really love this. Now the problem is I don't love the rust and the silver together. It is turning out fairly interesting as I'm working it up. As you can see, I really, really, really loved the purple butterfly and worked it up as much as I could and threw in a little rust and thought that I would get to the point where the rust would then become the color on the side. I'm not a super fan of the silver rust combo, so it's really going to be interesting to see how it all works up. So this is my larger piece, and then I started working on the second piece, and I started using more of the rust. So I have 2 skeins of purple butterfly and 2 skeins of rust and 1 skein of silver. Is that what it's actually called? They always have beautiful names. Let's see. Silver speckle. And I do love this too. I probably could have made a whole, it's not really my color, but I could have made a whole garment. I'm using a 4mm, one of my favorite Clover Amour crochet hooks. Yeah, but I think it's going to be fun. And I don't know if you can tell, the purple butterfly also has those beautiful speckles of browns and rust and silvers and whites. So those are 2 garments I'm really excited to make and wear this summer. Other ideas for garments could be a summer wrap or a summer dress that you put over your swimsuits. I probably won't be making one this summer. The cotton yarn I thrifted and purchased from Joann closing sales were all a weight 4, so that cotton ends up feeling super heavy, and I prefer a more modest look when I do a swimwear cover up. So I would prefer to use a cotton that is a very light weight if I were to make a swimsuit cover. So again, you could do something super colorful. I have hot pink cotton yarns that would make a fun swimsuit cover. You could do a neutral that goes with everything. And the thing that I love about garments, and especially summer garments, is you can let your personality shine. You can use whatever color you want for a winter garment, but there's something about a summer wearable where it's going to be bright and sunny, and you want to bring that same brightness to your garments and bring out your personality. Anything you crochet will start a conversation, but if you wear a bright colorway, you'll definitely start a conversation. It's just a fabulous way to connect with someone when you are in public and appreciate something that's art and something that can be common ground. And I think in today's world, you really want to engage in conversations of beauty and engage in conversations of art and engage in conversations of care and love and time and the preciousness of humanity. Not to sound cliche at all. I've only been crocheting for 1.5 years, but it has brought me back to the essence of what it means to create and what it means to be human. And so Pack, Play, and Crochet is here to help you take that creativity wherever you want to go and make sure you always have an opportunity to make something beautiful. Whether you wear it, look at it, gift it. Now this is a summer bag. I thrifted all of this cotton yarn and I followed a YouTube tutorial for a Sunburst Granny Square knot bag. It ended up being much smaller than I anticipated, but that's okay. It is currently unlined, but I'm gifting it to my daughter, a 3-year-old. This is perfect for a 3-year-old. Let's see, do I remember how to do the knot bag? Oh, there it is. It's so fun. Look how bright that is. Like, if this doesn't scream summer, y'all, I don't know what is. Choosing the colors are really going to help bring that summer vibe. And this is cotton. It can get wet. It can get dirty. Throw it in the washer. You can also make mesh bags. Those are great for markets if you're going to the summer farmer markets. It's great to have a mesh bag with you. They're super fun and easy to whip up. Like, talk about an easy pattern. Now here's something I'm actually excited about. It sits at my doorway. I thrifted this bag that says Barbie. It's a tote bag. It's pretty much just cotton. It's not canvas, but it feels like a cotton. This amazing ombre acrylic. It's a lot of yarn. So this will be super fun with the different colors. to whip up an easy granny square. I also have some thrifted white yarn and some more, actually this is now scrap yarn. It was from another sweater I made. So scrap and thrifted, acrylic. This is like acrylic with a little bit of wool. And so I'm just gonna play with granny squares. In the back of my mind, I'm like, I could do one giant square and then finish it off with rows at the top or the bottom to make the rectangle. Or I can make a couple different granny squares in all different colors. Maybe join with white. There's a lot of different options. And you know I'm gonna get compliments on a bright pink bag. You can easily work up a tote bag like that, where you have a template and use scrap yarn to help de-stash. Great, easy project. And if you go to the thrift store, you can find a tote bag everywhere. Please don't buy new. Please go to your thrift store for items like that. So speaking of totes, another one of my first projects was extremely ambitious. I did not know what I was doing. This took a lot of time, at least, did I say 40 hours? I don't even remember. I was like calculating each granny square was 90 minutes and I can't remember if there's 13 in this pattern. This is the classic granny square tote. There are many different patterns online. This one in particular I got for free from the Yarnspirations website as I was a new crocheter. This was not thrifted cotton. I believe I got the cotton at Joann's around the time they started their closeouts. You can see it's got some wear and tear and some dirt. It has been through the wash. And again, I usually get awesome compliments on this. As a beginner crocheter, I did not know how difficult these popcorn stitches would be. I did not know how difficult it would be to crochet into every double crochet stitch. When I learned the granny stitch, I was like, of course, this is so fast. And then I did a linen stitch cardigan or moss stitch hexagon, and that was so fast. I don't feel like people talk about enough the stitch patterns where there's a chain or a gap where you can easily stitch into versus stitching into a stitch. For me, I'm a little impatient and I like to see something come together. I've whipped up a few baskets recently because I just wanted a quick win. And this was not a quick win. This was a learning experience. I will not make another one of these again, not with the popcorn stitch. That's why I'm excited to use the canvas bag and just start with a template and do simple granny squares. This beautiful bag was lined by my mother. Thank you, Mom. She did all the cutouts. She did the sewing. She is the seamstress and I will be the crocheter. And I'm excited to do the Barbie tote that's already has a template. Okay, woo, we got some bags. Some other bags I want to make for this summer are bags like a phone case that I can easily sling over as a crossbody and tuck my phone, my keys, like the essentials that can just go from backpack to backpack. That's genius. Ooh, what if you did a crossbody bag so it fits your phone and then it also fits your sunglasses. And then maybe there's a third pocket for my little wallet. I just need one more pocket for keys. If I could crochet a 4-pocket, I could make this work, right? 4-pocket crossbody. Y'all, that would be so awesome. Because I'm bringing my crochet everywhere and I'm taking my daughter places and I'm working outside the house. I switch bags quite often, but those are the 4 essentials that I always need. Phone, keys, wallet, sunnies. Okay, we're on the hunt. If you find one, link below. If not, I may be making a pattern with 4 pockets as a crossbody. Dude, mind-blowing. Okay, now I'm pulling out whips that I didn't finish. This is more cotton yarn that's just deliciously soft that I had thrifted. I believe it's the Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton. This is like perfect summer. I think I was working on a bag. It'll be a fun bag. Maybe this is the start to that crossbody. Ooh, I'm gonna pull that out. Let's finish this whip, people. I also have this. I don't know if it's cotton or acrylic, but it kind of matches this vibe. So we may be frogging this. It was a hammock. So again, if you want to feel that summer vibe, whip up a hammock with a fun colorway and just like sling it in your office, sling it in your kids' room for toys. You could put all kinds of, you could put yarn in here. You could put, some people have them in their kitchens for fruit. I did find a pattern that had like a scallop. So I did some scallops on this one, which was cute. But again, I'm gonna frog it. I don't need or want any more hammocks at the moment. Some of these items, it's a new season, bring new life into it. This would be a very cool complement to these pinks and other summer colors that I want to use for a crossbody bag. I pulled out all these WIPs to find the one WIP that I was talking about because of the kind of yarn. So I've got two examples of yarn that can make or break your project. This is from Michael's Loops and Threads Cuddlecraft Tube. It's a 4-weight. It's made of cotton and nylon, but it's this awesome tube yarn. There's no splitting. It's made in a tube. So whatever hook you're using, you're not gonna poke into it. It's not gonna split. It's not gonna come apart. Clearly free-handed it. It does kind of a triangle taper. And then I made a little flap. There might be some frogging involved to get this where I want it, but this was gonna be a foam crossbody. I could repurpose, I could definitely add on, make a pocket in front, make a pocket in back, maybe a pocket inside. My phone does fit. It does need a strap, which is why I have this skein to make a strap. It's pretty heavy with just the phone. Playing around with this. Again, not easy, but simple. Once you've learned a single crochet, you really can do anything. And some of you know that, and maybe some of you don't. Let's get some bags going. Bags are fun. Bags can always accentuate your style in the summer. That's a great neutral that can go with anything. I could almost dress it up, right? I could wear it with a summer dress when I'm going out to a nice restaurant. I still have something handmade that I really enjoy and think is beautiful and brings my personality with me, even if I have to elevate my style, which I'm not always comfortable with, but if I have to elevate my style for the place that I'm going, bringing something like that will help me feel more myself, more authentically me. And that's just fabulous, right? There are some other items that I want to make this summer to just freshen up items that I already have. And one of those things is headphone covers. I have over-the-ear headphones, and there are patterns to do like a granny square and just kind of like sit over your headphone. I think that would be really cool. I would love to crochet a headphone hanger. Sometimes I want to bring my smaller backpack and my headphones are too big for my smaller backpack, but there's always those loops for your bags. I want to be able to like loop something around and then put like a carrier, like an attachment carrier. Another really simple and fun project is making little granny squares or using your single crochet to come up with patterns using your scraps, you know, just your scraps for AirPods, for little tiny headphones. Make a little bag, put a little wristlet on it, and so you always have them with you. My toddler loves to open and close it and play with the AirPods. Like sometimes I need to put them on a hook so she can't reach it. I'm excited this summer to make accessories for my headphones so that they bring my personality with me, they brighten it up, they feel like a new season. The last project I'm going to share with you is one that I will be frogging. It's not happening. I attempted a free pattern. But this was kind of my first attempt at a tank shaping. I did follow the pattern. So I think it'll go around like how far I want it to, but kind of stretching. I'm not vibing with it. And then in order for it to not have stripes, I decided I was gonna make solid grannies. And then I don't know how I was gonna do it. And then kind of seam them all together. Do you see the vision? I mean, it's a little odd. It's awkward. It's odd. Inside of the bag is kind of fun. I was able to put all the pockets of the yarn. Can you guess which yarn I'm using? Coboo! This is really easy to come by. It's at Walmart. This is denim. Beige. Here's the color I don't love. Silver. It's such a weird purplish silver that once I put it on all the granny squares, it's just not it. Silver was not it. I was trying to use it. In essence, this was a stash busting scrap project that has gone out of control. So as we were going to Phoenix where it was hot, I was like, oh, I have this bamboo rayon. I've had 4 or 5 skeins of different colors and I wanted to do granny squares with them. Practice smaller granny squares and the colorways really do mesh. I like the colors, except for this one. I don't know why I got this one. Yeah, because look at this beautiful pink, mauve. Sometimes projects don't work. Sometimes you're going to frog them. This Coboo feels incredible. It's soft, it's lightweight, it's a DK size, so it's not too difficult to maneuver when you're newer to crochet. The thing that really got me was the splitting. And so figuring out the right hook to work with this was a problem. I'm gonna call it prism, but I might be wrong. I do have a smaller size in this style. You could pick up at Michael's, most local yarn shops. Is very pointy at the top. So I had like a 3.75 maybe when I worked up some of the granny squares with this Coboo last summer. And it was so difficult because it's very pointy. And so it was just splitting the yarns easily. This wood bamboo that I got for traveling, this is a 3mm. Again, pointy. There's a name for that. Now this is it a Boyd or a Bates? Boy. B-O-U-E. B-O-Y-E. Again, something that you could probably pick up at Walmart. And it's not as pointy. It's a 3.5mm. By the way, I will always do millimeters. I don't understand what the like size number 12 is when it's a different millimeter size or an ABCD. Y'all, millimeters, just do it. Why? Why? Okay, so this yarn suggests a 4mm. So if I'm doing something tight with the 3.5, I might, this actually might not be a bad hook for it. Blue on blue, can you see it? It really flattens out, and that means that it's going to start to split when you are doing your stitches. This Coboo is light and airy and beautiful. I love the tones. I want to use it. I want to put it into a garment of some sort, but I think it's going to be more of a mesh garment. I'm going to use a bigger crochet hook. It does frog quite easily, so that's nice. But for now, we've exhausted the current projects that I have on hand that are summer specific. I hope these projects have inspired you to pick up some lightweight yarn, some cotton yarn, bamboo yarn even, and really experiment on what kind of personality you want to bring to summer. Remember to bring your crochet with you wherever you go and make that waiting time creating time. See you in the next video.